Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream, the first part of this festive Super Sunday. Sees Sunderland host Leeds at Stadium of Light as both promoted sides are having contrasting seasons so far. For Sunderland, their supporters cannot believe how good their return has been under Regis Lebris, as they currently sit 7th in the Premier League and could go 5th with a win today. And it has been their home form which has made the difference so far, with 0 losses from their first 8 so far at home in the Premier League. Leeds are at the other end of the table, but have got themselves away from the relegation zone for now. They are 6 points off West Ham, who are in 18th, but Leeds are unbeaten in their last 4 in the Premier League after changing to their new 3-5-2 system, which they discovered in their close-fought fight against Manchester City at the Etihad. But last season, there was 24 points separating these two sides, as Sunderland sat in 4th and got promoted via the playoffs, and Leeds as Championship champions. But their meetings was just pure drama. The first at the Stadium of Light was witnessed one of the biggest goalkeeping blunders of the season, as Elon Meslier misread a bouncing ball, which saw the ball hit the back of the net to make it 2-2 in the 97th minute. And there was more late drama in the reverse fixture, as substitute Pascal Struijk scored in the 78th minute and 95th minute to hand Leeds a vital 3 points in their push for the title. As both sides are now in the top flight, will Sunderland continue their push for a European spot, or will Leeds create further space between themselves and the bottom 3? Like I say, for Sunderland, despite being the team that finished the lowest in the Championship last season out of the promoted teams, they have certainly started the better in terms of performance levels and results as well. 17 games in the league so far, just 4 defeats, all of them away from home. They're yet to lose at home this season. Their last loss at home in the league was in the Championship. It was on the last day when they were beaten 1-0 by QPR, and that was on the 3rd of May. And for Leeds, they're not obviously doing as well as Sunderland. They're a little bit of an anomaly in terms of promoted teams in the last few years in terms of performance. But they're on 19 points. They've won 5 from 17 so far. They've won just the once away from home, though that's something they want to improve. That was away at Wolves on the 20th of September. But they've started to create space between themselves and the bottom 3, which currently is West Ham in 18th. They are 6 points clear of West Ham, and if they were to win today, it would be 9 points. If they just pick up 1 point, it's still 7 clear, and they're just starting to create that breathing room. A win for Leeds would just take them up 1 spot. They'd go from 16th to 15th, but I don't think position is their biggest worry for Leeds United. As long as the position isn't 18th, 19th or 20th, I think they'll see this as a very successful season, and then try and use their second season back in the Premier League, if they survive, to push on, bring in better players. And in fairness, I really do think their summer transfer window was a success. I think they brought in the right profile players, and they're using the right profile players in the right system. They brought in a lot of height that was well addressed at the start of the season. They kind of brought in physicality, a lot of height, and with this 3-5-2 system they're now playing, which they used in the second half against Manchester City in game week 13, it's all starting to come together, and there's no reason why Leeds can't stay up this season, especially with Wolves obviously already relegated, even though obviously that's not mathematical. Burnley, I think, will just be off the pace in terms of surviving, and the only team they've got to really worry about for me is West Ham, and I think they're 7 now without a win in the league. So if Leeds can just keep plucking away, keep picking up points, I think they'll be absolutely fine for survival. The last time that Leeds were in the Premier League in terms of their first season back was in the 2020-2021 season under Bielsa, and they finished 9th. Don't think they'll finish as high as that this season, but I think they will survive. I've got more so with the fact they've found this new system which seems to be working for now. Unbeaten in their last 4 games in the Premier League, 2 wins, 2 draws. The unbeaten run started in that midweek game against Chelsea at home when they won 3-1. That followed by 2 draws, 3-3 at home to Liverpool, late equaliser against the Reds, and then drew away at Brentford, which I know was a bit of a frustrating result for the Leeds side. They felt like they probably should have took all 3 points, especially during the second half, and then the last game against Crystal Palace on that Saturday night, 4-1 2 goals for Calvert-Lewin, who is in outstanding form, and then also goals from other players as well on the pitch, which is exactly what you want. Of course, you want Calvert-Lewin scoring the majority of your goals, but when you're getting goals from midfield through Ethan Ampadu and Anton Stack, it's just good that you're getting goals from both ends of the pitch, as here are both sets of starting 11s entering the field of play at the Stadium of Light. It holds just under 49,000 full capacity, and it's looking pretty much sold out for this festive fixture. It is the 6th biggest ground in England, and they are being led out by today's referee of Tony Harrington, who was a PE teacher before becoming a full-time professional referee. And this game could get spicy, it could get lively to the better fixtures from the Championship last season, with the 2-2 draw here back in the start of October with that 97th minute mistake from Meslier for the Sunderland equaliser, and then the 2-1 win for Leeds at Elland Road, and that was in the middle of February. Pascal Struijk scoring twice off the bench, and the winner coming in the 95th minute. So if we can try and get a repeat of last season's drama in this game, then we'll be in for an absolute cracker of a fixture, it must be said. As we'll go through both sets of starting 11s really quickly, as it's the one change for Sunderland, and it's in 4. Dan Ballard seems to be injured, so it'll be Robin Roofs in goal, and a back 4 of Trey Hume, who's making his 150th Sunderland appearance. At left back will be Dennis Serkin, who is making his first appearance of the season. He's been struggling with wrist and knee issues throughout the start of this campaign, and he's finally getting his first minutes on the pitch. And then 2 centre-backs, and there were 2 new signings in the summer, Nordi Mukiele from PSG and Omar Alderete from Getafe. 2 older midfielders, again 2 new signings, Granit Xhaka, who's now captain. He's making his 7th appearance against Leeds in his career. He has scored against them once previously for Arsenal in a 4-1 win back in April 2023. And alongside him will be Lucharel Gertrude, who is on loan from RB Leipzig. He has started 3 of the last 4 games in the league. 3 behind the striker on the right will be their 18-year-old Chris Rigg. On the left is Simon Adingra, who was not called up for Ivory Coast AFCON squad. And in the 10 position, their number 28, and lies Enzo Lefebvre, who's got 2 goals so far this season, both at home and both from the penalty spot against Brentford and Bournemouth. And leading the line, a man they spent £21 million on, it is Brian Broby from Ajax. Just the 2 goals for him as well this season in the league, at home to Bournemouth and also off the bench against Arsenal, which was a 94th minute equaliser around 6 weeks ago. And for Leeds, it is unchanged, of course, from their last lineup against Crystal Palace in that 4-1 win at Elland Road. It is Lucas Perry to remain in goal, trying to add to his 2 clean sheets he's already got this season in the Premier League. A back 3 of Joe Rodon, Yaka Biol and Pascal Struijk. 5 along the midfield. At right wing back will be Jaden Bogle, and on the left wing back will be Gabriel Goodmanson, and then 3 in the middle, Brendan Aronson, Ethan Ampadu and Anton Stack. And 2 up front, it is Noah Okafor, who is still who is looking for his first Premier League goal since early October. He has scored once away, and it was in their only away win against Wolves, and also one at home against Spurs on the 4th of October. And alongside him will be the man in form at the moment, and that is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has got 6 in his last 5 in the Premier League, scoring a brace last time out against Crystal Palace. He's making his 5th start in a row, finally finding fitness and finding the back of the net. He's also played Sunderland once before, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he scored a brace against them as well. It was a 3-0 home win at Goodison Park for Everton in a League Cup 3rd round fixture back in 2017. So it is pretty much as you were for both teams in terms of their last lineups. Seems like Sunderland were enforced to make their change for Dan Ballard, who seems to have picked up a knock. It is Dan Ballard who has come out, and Dennis Serkin, who is coming in for his first minutes of the season. As the kick-off is getting underway very, very shortly. The Sunderland supporters in full voice, enjoying their first season back in the Premier League. Last time they were in. The Premier League was the 2016-2017 season when they finished rock bottom. That certainly will not be the case this time around. It is 8 points that separate these two in the table. 7th against 16th. Who will come out on top? Will it be Sunderland, who are unbeaten in their last 2 in the league, or Leeds, who are unbeaten in their last 4? We'll have to wait and see. It will be Sunderland to kick us off, kicking right to left. Leeds left to right. Sunderland to kick off. Xhaka all the way back to goalkeeper Robin Roofs, who seems to be in a dark purple-looking goalkeeper kit, as it's glanced backwards by Ampadu, headed down by Adingra. Quick 1-2 there with Lefay towards the corner flag. Now it's Adingra, 1-on-1 with Bogle, kicks it off the wing-back, and it will be a throw-in in the final third for Sunderland. On this near side, it's a quick start from the Black Cats, who will be lining up a long throw-in here, and it will be launched in by Nordi Mukiele, their new defensive signing. He can play centre-back or right-back. It does look like he'll be playing alongside Omar Alderete in the centre-back pairing as he throws it into the area. It's a long throw. It's bouncing around. It's Xhaka to head it back out wide left to Adingra in the corner of the box. Goes for the shot, which deflects wide of the near post. And it will be a corner for Sunderland less than a minute in. And they are the team on top. They've started lively. And they are looking to try and get an early goal in this game if they can. Didn't score in their last game. Sunderland, it was a 0-0 draw away at Brighton. Statistically, Brighton were the better side, but Sunderland were able to hold out for a draw. Is Lefay. It's an in-swinger right into the box. It's a good header away. I think it might have been Strauch who got the touch, or maybe Calvert-Lewin. Whoever it was, it got the ball away. And it's now on the halfway line with Sunderland's Granit Xhaka, who restarts in his own half with goalkeeper Robin Roofs. Adingra on this left wing again. He's looked the brightest spark so far, and he's allowed to drive forward, lays it off to his left to Sirkin, whose cross comes off Ampadu, and that'll be a throw in towards the corner flag for Sunderland again on this near side. Looking to try and get Adingra running at Bogle as much as possible. Just about to hit the second minute, and it's going to be another long throw in from Nordi Mukiele. The 28-year-old turns 29 in the middle of next month. Can chaos be caused from the throw-in? And it goes from the number 20 towards the near post. It's headed up into the air and then volleyed by Jayden Bogle all as far as Gertruda, Sunderland's number 6, who goes back to the halfway line to Hume, and then lifting it out to the left towards Adingra. There's height on it. He keeps it in with his header straight to Mukiele, who lifts it over Aronson, but then cleared by Ampadu. Huge volley away straight through to Robin Roofs. And Sunderland can restart from the back with their Dutch goalkeeper yet to make an appearance for the Netherlands, but has been on the bench for the last 3 international breaks in September, October and November, signing a 5-year deal in the summer. It felt like it was a position that Sunderland didn't need to strengthen with Anthony Patterson, but Robin Roofs has just took them to another level. He's been absolutely superb so far this season. 6 clean sheets, 2 in a row now against Brighton last time out, and then of course in the derby against Newcastle. And in those 2 games he's faced 9 shots on target. So he has been pretty busy within those 2 games where he's kept the 2 clean sheets in a row. As there's a foul on the halfway line on the far side, and it's a Sunderland free kick. So Xhaka's going to launch this towards the 18-yard box. They're sending the centre-backs forward, the likes of Mukiele and Alderete. He actually goes short and goes across into a more central area here to Hume, and then back out to Granit Xhaka, who will then float a ball into the box towards the far post. Mukiele wins the header, but it's a comfortable catch for Perry, and he'll look to throw it out to the Leeds left here as they try and attack quickly. Okafor brought down cynically by Hume, and that'll be a free kick on the halfway line. Originally received the ball there from Aronson, who brought down the throw from Perry very well, and then got around Granit Xhaka, and then as he tried to just drive inside there, Okafor just too quick for Hume, and it's a free kick for the away side, who are in their away kit tonight in that blue with just little glimpses of yellow down the side, as they are still using this 5 at the back system they have found great success with, unbeaten with it from the start of games, because they first tried it against Manchester City when they were 2-0 down at half-time at the Etihad. It got them back to 2-2, and they were pretty unlucky not to take anything from that game as Perry goes long, chested by Calvert-Lewin, but the second touch is poor, cleared up in the air by Mukiele, headed down by Ampadu, headed on by Stack, played down by Calvert-Lewin, can't quite find his strike partner of Okafor. It's now Trey Hume, down the right side to Rigg, keeping it away from Goodmanson, does get a nick, the left wing back, and it'll be a throw-in for the home side, just inside their own half. Trying to get Chris Rigg on the ball. He is the youngest ever Sunderland scorer, and also the youngest league scorer as well. Both of those goals coming at the start of the 23-24 season. Just over 5 minutes in, we're still goalless. It's Sunderland who have been the team on top, but Leeds are just now starting to find their groove in the game, getting a little bit more possession. So it's Roden to this near side to Bogle, back to Roden, who finds the goalkeeper in the 18-yard box of Lucas Perry. Just about gets it back to Roden, almost intercepted by Lefay, and that one is intercepted. Brian Broby, strong challenge on Joe Roden, who has stayed down. He's a bit of a beast, Brian Broby. And Joe Roden has certainly felt the feeling of that challenge. Ooh, he's just rolled his ankle, so it's a fair challenge from Brian Broby. He's got to cross and block the clearance, but as he's almost kind of putting his body across to block the clearance, he's kind of just caught Roden on the follow-through, completely accidental, but the way that Roden's foot was placed as he was kicking it just means he's kind of rolled it and had the full force of Broby. They can be painful ones to run off. It does look like he will run it off. They do have another centre-back on the bench if needed, Leeds United, and Sebastian Bono, who they brought in the summer from Wolfsburg. He's already linked with a move away back to Germany to FC Cologne, a club he's already played for in the German First Division. And we're back underway. Roden seems to be fine to continue for now, as it's a throw-in just inside the Sunderland half for Leeds on the near side, won by Brendan Aronson, making his 11th start in the league. Hadn't started any of the previous four before getting the nod to start in their last game against Crystal Palace, and because all of them played so well, Daniel Farke has gone unchanged for this one. Leeds United starting to play a bit of football. It's in their own half for now. Been forced to go to their goalkeeper of Lucas Perry, signed from Lyon, who's part of the French side. The Lyon side to be knocked out of the quarter-final stage of the Europa League very dramatically by Manchester United at Old Trafford. Those late goals and the winner, which was from Harry Maguire. This is Beale back into Perry. That rapid fire start for Sunderland has just eased off. Perry does go long, out towards the Leeds right, towards Calvert-Lewin, headed one by Alderete, tried to be controlled by Ampadu, but it's headed away by Beale, headed down to the left by Gertrude to Adingra, restarting, going back to his left back to Sirkin, then to Roofs, who has to clear first time as he was being closed down by Okafor. The ball loops up in the air, headed backwards by Ampadu, finds Roden, who seems to be moving gingerly on that right foot, certainly feeling the effects of that challenge from Brian Broby. As Alderete turns the ball away from Calvert-Lewin, forward to Lefay, dummies it towards Broby. It's well read though by Beale, and Leeds will start again in front of their 18-yard box with their goalkeeper. Just less than 9 minutes in, still goalless. Neither goalkeeper properly tested so far. Perry getting the ball returned to him from Stack, and he clears it up in the air just before the halfway line where Gertrude wins the header, but straight to Rodon. Stack time on the ball in the middle of the park and slips it through for Aronson, who again goes across to Calvert-Lewin, tackled by Sirkin, but it goes through for Okafor. Stack gets the layoff, and it's shot straight at Robin Roofs. Just had to dive low to his left to stop the ball from going into the back of the net. Decent build-up play there from Leeds United. Drop to Anton Stack, who scored a brilliant free kick in their last game against Crystal Palace in the 101st minute of the game. Over the wall and into the corner. Free kick won on the far side towards the halfway line for Sunderland by Brian Broby. Again, it is Xhaka over it, 10 minutes in at Stadium of Light. It's still 0-0. The last time these two met in the Premier League here was back in Boxing Day 2002. So almost 23 years to the date. It was a 2-1 Leeds win. Goals from James Milner and Robbie Fowler for Leeds United that day. Sunderland have worked it down the right-hand side. It's an overhit cross from Trey Hume. It kind of bends out and then back in, and it'll be a goal kick for Leeds. I think it was actually Chris Rigg who put that cross in. The number 11. Yet to score this season, Chris Rigg. Only making his 5th start in the Premier League. He hadn't played any minutes in the previous 7 games before starting that last game against Brighton. They have been hit hard by the Africa Cup of Nations, Sunderland. They've lost Traore, Masuaku, Siddiqui, Talbi, Renildo and Diarra. And between those 6 players in total, they've started 52 league games this season. So they have been hit hard, but they've got decent enough depth for now. Any injuries, and they might have to get some real fringe players stepping up in the Premier League. As it's back with Leeds, midway inside their own half, with number 5, Pascal Struijk. Scored 5 league goals last season, 2 of them in that home win at Ellen Road. 2 Sunderland off the bench. He came on to replace Tanaka in the 71st minute. Scored in the 78th. And then again in the 95th. It's Okafor tries to let the ball run for Calvert-Lewin, and it's successful, and he returns it to Okafor. Aronson making a run down the left-hand side, and he's been found in the area. Needs to get the cross right. He's overhit it. The American international, and it's gone through to this near side to Stack. Tries to take on Adingra, can't. In a left-back position now, the winger. Can't get it away from Stack, who kicks it off Adingra, and it works to him for where he can get a left-footed cross in, headed away at the near post by Alderete. It's now with Roden. Into Ampadu. Leeds starting again on the halfway line, but they've really grown into the game after a tense first 5 minutes where it was certainly Sunderland, the team on top. Ampadu touch isn't great. He's fouled by Lafay, and the referee will blow for a free kick. Caused by his own poor touch there, Ampadu, but he was quick enough to keep the ball away from Lafay, who then ended up committing with a foul just towards the Leeds left-hand side. And they're going to send 2 of the 3 centre-backs up for this. No, all 3 are up for Leeds United. Roden, Beale and Struijk. Ampadu's also in there, who scored his first Premier League goal last weekend against Crystal Palace. In it goes towards the far post, aiming for Beale, who wins the header. But then it's headed away momentarily by Sirkin. Back in by Ampadu, chested by Calvert-Lewin. It drops to Okafor. And it's a key block from Mukiele to divert it over the bar. Farke with hands on his head, thinking his team were going to take the lead there. It was just glided to the far post. First header won by Beale. Second header by Sirkin. Headed back forward by Ampadu. Chested by Calvert-Lewin. Laid off to Okafor by Struijk. And he's just tried to place it towards the top right corner there. The Leeds number 19. And it looks like that may have been going goal bound. Not too sure. Nicked off the shoulder of Mukiele. Corner goes in. Struijk heads it up in the air towards the penalty spot. Beale heads it out wide, but no one in the blue shirts there. And it's in a right back position for Alderete. Clears it down that right flank towards Rigg. Just loses out there to Okafor, doing his defensive work well. And it's going to be Leeds to start again on the far side, halfway line. Struijk forward to Okafor. Going to try and go on the outside of Hume. And he gets the last touch, the Sunderland full-back. And that... No, he's given a goal kick. Tony Harrington, you've got that wrong. Clear corner. And he's not giving it. Less than 15 minutes in, and it's a goal kick for Sunderland. Rather fortunate, because that should have been a corner. And it's going to be taken by Mukiele. who plays it to his goalkeeper Robin Roofs. Forward to Xhaka on the edge of the box, then to the left centre half of Alderete. Forward it goes with height, controlled well by Gertrude in the centre circle. Goes to his right to Hume. Back to Gertrude. Keeps it away from Aronson. Alderete. The Paraguayan centre half brought in for £10 million from Getafe. Sirkin lays it off to his right. It's another dummy by Lefay, and Gertrude will get onto it and tries to play the pass forward to Broby, just away from the Dutch striker and through to Perry. Set up beautifully for him to hit it first time there. Lucharel Gertrude should have absolutely hammered that. He's a defender stroke midfielder. Doesn't score many goals. Just the one for RB Leipzig last season. That was in a home game against Freiburg. Perry, he's not going to kick the ball. He's going to launch it with a throw into the Sunderland half. That is absolutely huge, that throw. And the knockdown drop to Rigg, who can turn on Goodmanson. And that'll be a free kick on the halfway line for Sunderland, who have played 8 league games at home. And they have won 5 of those 8. Most recently, of course, against Newcastle, with that Voltemada own goal, as it's a big slide tackle from Stack on the byline, and that'll be a corner for Sunderland on that far side. Tackling Enzo Lefay as he tried to work across into the box. It's going to be an in-swinger from Granit Xhaka. In it goes towards the near post, header won by Strauch. Still in the area towards the far post where 2 Sunderland players collide. It has dropped to this near side to Gertrude. Plays it into the box to Mukiele. Back out wide to Adingra. Lifts it over Bogle and tries the cross, but he's off balance. And it'll be a goal kick for Leeds. Complete miscommunication there between, I think it was Chris Rigg and Nordi Mukiele. Both got eyes on the ball, no communication. Rigg's gone to try and volley it. Mukiele's just tried to control it and they've collided into each other. They are okay, but it could have stopped Rigg from having a shot towards goal as Bogle in a right wing position crosses off Sirkin. And that will be a throw-in. Dennis Sirkin back in. It's his first appearance since the playoff final at Wembley. Played every minute in the playoffs, Dennis Sirkin, but he's been suffering with wrist problems and a knee issue as well, which has stopped him from playing any minutes so far this season. It's his first appearance in all competitions for the Dublin-born fullback. Ampadu, long throw-in from the near side. Flicked on by Strauch, and no one in the Leeds shirt is there to attack it. Free clearance for Rigg as an off-the-ball challenge by Okafor sends Lefay to the ground. And that'll be a free kick for Sunderland in their own half. 18 minutes played here at Stadium the Light, and it's Sunderland 0, Leeds United 0. No one for Sunderland has scored in the last 2 games. Xhaka on the halfway line for Sunderland. Everyone behind the ball for Leeds. Gertrude in the centre circle. Playing it back to his left 5 yards to Xhaka. A curling ball down the left channel for Sirkin, who's forward from left back. Shielding it away from Roden. It's now over Dingra. 2 Leeds players around him. Skips beyond 1. Plays it back to Xhaka. Then into Adingra once more. Now running at Bogle. On the outside. Left-footed cross. Deflects to the far post. Runs through here towards Rigg, who loses out to Goodmanson. Brilliant defending from the Leeds number 3 as they look to try and set off a counter-attack. Goodmanson shows too much of the ball for Rigg, who can nick it back for Sunderland. Xhaka takes too long. Tackled by Aronson, but the loose ball drops to Gertrude. And it's the home team back on the ball and attacking once more. Always trying to feed Simon Adingra, who's on it once more, cutting in onto his right foot, away from Aronson. Playing it to Xhaka. It's now Gertruder on the left wing. About 30 yards from goal. It's Adingra. Just slowing the game down, the Ivorian. Playing it into the middle to Alderete. Just in front of the centre circle. Trying to play it to the feet of Broby, who's trying to run him behind, and it's almost reached him. But the goalkeeper, Lucas Perry, out quickly to stop the former Ajax striker in his tracks. Big kick out of his feet towards Calvert-Lewin. Touches it towards Aronson. Beyond him, but won by Ampadu. It's now Roden. Aronson. Beale. Out to the right to Roden. Back across to Beale on the halfway line. Leeds just edging the possession by a couple of percent. It is a very tight game so far, very even between the two promoted sides from the Championship. Sunderland finished 14 points off Sheffield United in third, who they ended up beating in the final, and they were 24 points off Leeds and Burnley, who both finished on 100 points. Such a poor end to the season for Sunderland. It's amazing that they did get promoted in the end. They lost 5 games in a row before their playoff campaign. Losing at home to Swansea, Blackburn, QPR, and then losing away to Bristol City and Oxford United as well, as the ball's dropped for Lafay. But the offside flag's up on the far side. Returning from an offside position, says the assistant referee. Just over 21 minutes in, it's Sunderland 0, Leeds United 0. Still no huge chances as of yet. Okafor probably the closest with his deflected strike, but I'm not exactly sure if that shot was ever going on target. Calvert-Lewin up for an aerial ball and he wins it. Okafor lays it off here to Aronson, into space for Bogle on the right wing. Low ball goes in and it's cleared by Mukiele, helped on by Sirkin, flicked away by Adingra. Throwing for Leeds United again. Now on this far side for Goodmanson. Okafor, who they brought in for £18 million from AC Milan. Went to Napoli for the second half of last season on loan. Part of their title winning team, but only made 4 appearances. Didn't quite work out for him. Hence his move to England after kind of being shown the door by AC Milan. And here he is on the left wing, linking up with Goodmanson, who goes back into Aronson. Strauch. Ampadu into the centre circle with Beale. Bit of time on the ball for their new centre-half, brought in from Udinese in the summer. Roden again, caught late. And he is in serious pain, the Welshman. Been caught twice now. It's the same ankle as well, which I think is the issue. It's Adingra this time. It's pretty much the same thing. As Roden's gone to play the ball, it's the aftermath where, again, his ankle's rolled over. It's the exact same thing that's happened. That is sore. That will be painful and he needs treatment. It's the exact same thing. The ankle rolling over, they hurt at the best of times. Never mind when you've got professional athletes rolling over it for you. That is, yeah, 100% see why Joe Roden needs the treatment. It's more so the fact as well that it's on the same ankle. Painful for the former Spurs centre-back. Well over 100 appearances now for Leeds. First joined in the summer of 2023 for that season on loan, and then joined permanently the season after for £10 million. Born in Swansea, that's where he came through their academy, then spent 4 years at Spurs, a loan spell here and there, and eventually moved on to Leeds. And there is Dan Ballard on the bench, but unfortunately not part of the squad. Looks to have picked up an injury, potentially, Dan Ballard, who had started, I think, the last 10 games for Sunderland in the league. So let's see if Roden can continue here. Definitely be a nasty one for him. Doesn't mean we just get a quick pause in play. Full of tattoos, Joe Roden. One on the right side of his neck, all down the arms. Got to be helped up by the medical staff with his Nike purple boots on. Well, it's like a dark purple on the back and it kind of fades into a white on the front of the boot. He's hobbling off. I don't think he'll be able to continue here. That's 2 heavy knocks to the same ankle. And he has been ever present in recent years for Leeds, Joe Roden. Played all 46 games last season in the Championship. Started all 46 as well. Scoring the 1 goal, which came in the month of December at home to Derby. As we get back underway, it's a throwing down the line for Leeds, picked up by Aronson towards the corner flag. Inside to Calvert-Lewin, back out to Aronson, well kept between the 2 Leeds forwards. As Roden does look like he wants to get back on as soon as possible. 26 minutes in, still 0-0. Leeds on the ball within their own half here with the left centre-back of Strauch. Back into the goalkeeper to Lucas Perry. 6'6", the Brazilian goalkeeper. As he kicks it out to the Leeds left, no one there. Easy touchdown there for Hume. And it's now Sunderland who are back on the ball with Robin Roofs. Not being pressed at the moment, Robin Roofs, as he brings the ball forward, rolling it from underneath his foot. Playing it to the right in the end to Mukiele. Now to Roofs. Forward to Xhaka. Bit of a disjointed press there. Easy pass into the middle of the park for the Sunderland goalkeeper. Xhaka. Gertruda. Now out wide to Sirkin, who will bring it forward, the number 3. Adingra back into Gertruda. Adingra once more. Gets there ahead of Bogle. Sirkin takes over. Roden goes in strong. Kicks it off of Roden there, Sirkin, and it's a throw-in in the final third again for Sunderland, and it looks like they'll load up another long throw. Still hobbling there, Joe Roden. I can't see him continuing, if I'm going to be completely honest. Mukiele launches. Calvert-Lewin wins the header to the edge of the area where it's kept alive by Xhaka. Great ball to Adingra, who's free for the shot! And he bends it into the far corner. Sunderland take the lead. Simon Adingra with the goal. And it's his first in the colours of Sunderland. Just his 6th league start of the season. Having to step up due to the players that Sunderland have lost to the Africa Cup of Nations. And despite not going himself, he's making his mark in this Sunderland team instead. Long throw-in from Mukiele wasn't fully cleared by Leeds United. It was Xhaka who kept it alive and played a ball in behind for Adingra, who just went wide and then made the run inside. It's clever play from that wide area. The touch is perfect. Set him up perfectly for a right-footed strike as he just directed it to that far corner. Bit of bend. Out of reach for Lucas Perry. Started out of the post. Ended up curling inside. Side netting. And in a game which has been rather even but has lacked those big chances, the first one that's come has been taken by Simon Adingra. And it's Sunderland 1, Leeds 0. First Sunderland goal for the Ivorian. Scored twice last season in the Premier League. His last league goal for Brighton, the team he's joined from, was almost a year ago to the day he scored away at Aston Villa on the 30th of December. Of course, today's the 28th. So almost a year for Adingra between his last 2 Premier League goals. And it's just the fact that he made that run inside, and when you know Granit Xhaka's the one playing the pass, you know you can almost think a move ahead, kind of make a run that some defenders won't track. And he's done just that. Rodon's down again. He will not be able to continue. His game is done. And that's a big shame for the Leeds number 6. He's been so good for them since joining a couple of seasons ago. But he's having to be replaced. And it's going to be a midfielder who comes on. So I'm going to guess it will be Ethan Ampadu, who drops into centre-back. And it'll be our Tanaka, who comes on into midfield. So Ampadu shift into the back 3. And then Tanaka to be in that midfield with Aronson and Stack. Just over half an hour in, Sunderland lead. I think for Leeds United, it's got to be more of the same. It's just they've defended a set piece in a very sloppy manner. I don't think their way of playing has been exactly the problem. I think they've got themselves in the game quite well, knocking it about nicely, getting into the Sunderland 18-yard box. It's just they've switched off on a set piece, which can't happen in the Premier League because you will be punished. And Sunderland, who finished 4th last season in the Championship, are leapfrogging themselves up into 5th in the Premier League, and we are almost at the halfway stage of the season. Circling over 100 against Sunderland now, still at 23. Yes, I hope he signs a new contract. Good cover for Renildo. He's being exactly that at the moment. Renildo away at the Africa Cup of Nations with Mozambique. And Sirkin, who's just returning from his injury issues, is started well. Dennis Sirkin, Dublin born to Latvian parents. Moved to London, though, at the age of 3. Came through the Spurs Academy. Broby down on the left wing. Gertrude, and the referee says no. Sirkin then slides in. Can't get it off Aronson, who shifts it to Tanaka. Out wide left to Okafor. Goodmanson trying to offer the support with a running behind. He'll be played the ball, and he'll get the cross in towards Calvert-Lewin. It's a good clearance towards the penalty spot by Alderete. And in the week, I saw the stat for Calvert-Lewin's Premier League goals. They have all been pretty much in line with the penalty spot, finding himself in the right areas. Not really been given a sniff though so far in this game. Leeds United number 9 got a good England record, 4 goals in 11. Certainly seen worse goal scoring records for England. It's going to be a long throw in the final third here. Ampadu throws it in towards Strauch. Does glance it on off the thigh of Alderete. Aronson to the right side of the box to Tanaka. Crosses in. Header away. Not once but twice. Drops to Aronson though on the right hand side. Forward to Tanaka. Off the bench for the injured Rodon. Tanaka crosses off Sirkin. Wins a corner. On this near side for Leeds United. Straight involved. The substitute. Our Tanaka. Started 3 of the last 6 now in the league. Scored in back-to-back games recently in the win against Chelsea and then the draw to Liverpool, both at Elland Road. Cross goes in, outswinger, headed towards goal by Beale. And that will be an easy catch for Robin Roofs. Has scored a header recently for Leeds. Jaka Beale, as Leeds have won it back in a very dangerous position. Anton Stack with the shot at the near post. Cannons off Alderete. And that'll be another corner on the near side for Leeds. Yeah, Jaka Beale scored a header against Chelsea in their win against them on the 3rd of December. It's now his 5th start in a row at centre-back for the Slovenian. Another outswinger into the centre of the box. Header won by Alderete. Another header away on the edge of the box by Rigg. As far as Okafor, who starts again with their goalkeeper Perry. 10 minutes until half-time. Still 1-0 to Sunderland. Adingra with the goal. Long ball forward by Perry. Chested down by Calvert-Lewin to Tanaka. It's now with Goodmanson. Struijk. Just in his own half here. The former Dutch under-17 international. Making his 175th appearance today for Leeds. Pascal Struijk. Potentially Leeds could have gone back to their back four here. Looks like they're playing a 4-1-2-1-2. Bit of a diamond in the midfield. Ampadu holding, Tanaka and Stack just to the left and right of him. Then Aronson is a bit more of a 10. Then it can adapt into a 5 when they attack. Beal with a ball. It's a great touch as well by Stack, who will lift it into the box towards Calvert-Lewin over his head. Headed away by Mukiele. Then helped on by Sirkin, who's caught as he headed it away. The referee's not given a free kick yet, and now he has. I'm not sure who committed the foul there. Tanaka looking as confused as anyone. It's a free kick for Sunderland. 10 Premier League meetings between the two previously. 2 wins for Sunderland, 1 at home. A 2-0 win back in November 2001, and also an away win at Ellen Road in August 2002. Jason McAteer scored right after half-time in that one. Dinked over the top towards Broby. Header won by Struijk. Dealt with on the edge of the box by Goodmanson, who will take it out wide and plays a low ball forward towards Okafor, who is battling there with Mukiele. And there's a foul that's been committed by the former PSG man. And that'll be a free kick for Leeds on the far side. Unbeaten in their last 4, Leeds. Not losing since Manchester City at the Etihad. Injury time winner by Phil Foden that time around. They haven't won any of their last 5 away from home. They had lost 4 in a row before this run of 4 unbeaten, losing to Manchester City and before that Aston Villa, Forest and Brighton. They have conceded 3 or more times, 5 times in the Premier League this season, conceding 31 altogether. Perry in the 18-yard box for Leeds. Big kick forward. Up into the air. Free header for Sirkin. Controlled by Stack. Bogle tries to go forward, but Adingra forces him to go back to the goalkeeper Perry. Full orange kit for the Leeds goalkeeper this afternoon. On his left foot. Kicks it forward. Loops into the centre circle. Headed to the right by Calvert-Lewin. Winning a lot of his headers so far. And it finds Tanaka, who can be calm on the ball. No press on him so far. Aronson receives it from Bogle, drives into a more central area, then played out to the left to Stack. Out wide once more now to Okafor, finding himself in that wide area often, trying some footwork, but he's overran it. Tackled by Rigg, cleared by Hume, headed back forward by Stack, won back by Rigg. Goodmanson on the recovery, gets a touch, and Ampadu helps him out. And it's back with Leeds in their own half. It's with Beal. 69 appearances for his country, Slovenia, for Beal. Only aged 26. Played 4 times at the most recent Euros. Losing on penalties to Portugal. Everyone behind the ball for Sunderland in their own half, as it is with Beal. Right-footed ball into the box. Helped on by Calvert-Lewin towards Aronson, who controls it onto his left foot. Shoots! What a clearance off the line! That is heroic from Trey Hume. Sunderland try and go forward. Broby brought to the ground. Referee sees it as a fair challenge. Such good play from Leeds United. They're still on here with Aronson. Can't quite keep it in. And that will be a goal kick. Should have scored, really. But I don't think he could have done too much more. Beal with the ball in. It's a fantastic volleyed pass by Calvert-Lewin. Just perfectly weighted to Aronson, who took a touch inside. He got it beyond roofs, but then on the line. Fantastic defensive awareness by Hume to get on the line and clear. I do not think Aronson can be blamed for that. He couldn't do much more. Superb defending from Hume to keep it at 1-0. Leeds will be frustrated if they go in at half-time losing, because realistically they've gone 1-0 down just due to a lapse of concentration after a long throw-in. Just talking about Mozambique before, Renildo, the Sunderland fullback who's away with them at the minute at AFCON, have just won their first game at the tournament, beating Gabon by 3-2. Okafor receives the ball down the left-hand side. On his right foot, goes for an early shot. Don't think it took any deflection or nick. He's asking for it. Referee's given a goal kick. Less than 5 minutes to go until the break. Sunderland 1, Leeds 0. Adingra with the goal from the left side of the box, making a run in behind Bogle and then bending it to that far corner. Adingra played onside. This is his first goal since joining in the summer from Brighton for £21 million. Okafor down that left side again, crossing into the box towards Aronson. Good header won by Sirkin. And the second header by Hume, nodded down by Ampadu to Stack. It will go all the way back to their goalkeeper to restart once more. Just the one draw as well, away from home for Leeds, and that was at Brentford 2 weeks ago now. 6 losses away from home for Leeds this season. Not been good on their travels. Okafor running at Hume onto the right foot, low ball in, kicks it straight to his own teammate Goodmanson, who simply could not control that. And then Rigg kicks it off Goodmanson, throwing in a right back position for Sunderland as they try and get in at half time. 1-0 up. Hume with the ball in his hands, throws it down the line, headed by Goodmanson, played back by Okafor to Beale. Less than 3 minutes to go. Will Leeds get an equaliser before half time? Ampadu to Bogle on this near side, still in their own half. Ampadu gets it forward. It's a zipped ball to Stack, who can lift it to the right to Bogle, who will take it under control, but then that touch is rather heavy and it's sliced away by Sirkin, helped away by Adingra, keeping the ball in, seen through by Tanaka to reach Ampadu. Sitting in a low block here, Sunderland just wanting to get through to half time if they can. They did go 1-0 up the last time these two sides met at this stadium. Chris Rigg scored in the 9th minute. Then an equaliser by Piru, and then a goal to put them ahead by Firpo, who then scored the own goal, unfortunately, in the 97th minute. Bogle tries the cross, deflects to Tanaka. Back to Bogle on the edge of the area, forward into the box to Aronson. Angle is tight, tries to get it across, and it evades Calvert-Lewin at the near post and Okafor at the far post, and goes away for a Sunderland ball. Certainly looked the most creative player on the pitch so far, Brendan Aronson, who's not always had it easy at Leeds United. Been a bit of a topsy-turvy career for him at Leeds. Played every single championship game last season, starting 43 of them, scoring 9 goals. Just one though in his last 16, and that was at home to Swansea at the end of March. And he's getting minutes as well in the Premier League. Back-to-back starts for the American. Sunderland have it midway inside their own half with their right centre-back Nordi Mukiele. Works it to Hume, touch goes up in the air, gets it under control, but gets pressured from Okafor, and he runs the ball out of play. Linesman says no, Leeds will carry on. Stack into Goodmanson on that far side. He's got Okafor behind him, plays it to him. It's now Stack, time on the ball. Brought in the summer from Hoffenheim for £17 million as Beale gets it into the far post looking for Calvert-Lewin. Key header away by Mukiele. Thumbs up from Calvert-Lewin, liking the idea. And his team have got themselves a corner right before the break. It's going to be an in-swinger from Stack. Near post, headed away by Sirkin. Back towards Stack, who will battle with Lefay. Still with Stack. Last touch off Lefay. And that'll be a throw-in, I think, for Leeds. Or has it come off Stack last? I think it came off the German midfielder last. And 5 minutes added on. Mainly due to the stoppages with the Joe Rodon injury, who did go off during the first half. Swapped out for our Tanaka, which meant Ampadu's gone back into the back three and Tanaka into midfield. Sunderland have worked it to their left-hand side now with Sirkin. Adingra. Isolated with Bogle. Into the final third. There's a player inside, and that's Lefay. Couldn't quite find him. Intercepted by Tanaka, who needs to deal with this ball. Goes back to Bogle, then gets it down the line. Does it run out of pitch? It does. And there'll be a throw-in for Sunderland. We've played a minute of the 5 added on. There is Regis Lebris, Sunderland manager, taking charge of his 70th game of the club. Certainly been all Leeds since the Sunderland goal. Alderete goes long up towards Broby. Header won by Biel. Headed forward by Xhaka to Lefay. Good touch into Rig. Then over the top for Broby. Goalkeeper hesitates. Broby gets there, brought down. Referee says no. Massive hesitation there from Perry. And I feel like if he was a bit more confident, there wouldn't have been such a stress at the back for Leeds. Bogle on the floor to Aronson, who gets the ball from the layoff from Calvert-Lewin. Loses out, though, there in the end. And it's now out to the left to Lefay. Quick play in the midfield from Sunderland. And Adingra's away. Bogle out of position. Adingra. Space to run into. In the box. Tries the cross. Broby with the header. And off the woodwork. Almost a goal and an assist for Adingra. Weighted it to perfection. Right in front of Broby for him to run onto. Went over the head of Strauch. Just couldn't keep it down. And it glances off the bar and over. And this chance, the ball over the top for Broby. Beat Perry to it. Just didn't get a good enough contact. And it's definitely not a penalty. Kind of fell over the goalkeeper more than anything. And cleared by Beale. 2 huge chances for Broby and added on time. Remains 1-0 with 2 minutes of added on time to play. "90 seconds of the first half. Sunderland 1 goal up. Both teams have been well in this game. Gudmundsson trying to play a ball down the left channel, cleared by a sliding Mukiele, all as far as Stack, who tries to play it forward. Out of play it goes. Throw in for Sunderland. Mukiele. Big clearance forward and out of play. Thrown on the halfway line for Leeds. Goodmanson takes the throw to Strauch. They've got 30 seconds if they want to try and get level before half-time. Beale. Big ball forward, lifted towards Calvert-Lewin. Wins the header, but straight to Xhaka, who goes back to Roofs. It's a bouncing ball. He just about clears it before it goes over his goal line. Towards Adingra. Header won by Bogle. Aronson coming back from an offside position. Had to leave it. Poor clearance from Alderete, and Tanaka almost heads it inside for Aronson. Couldn't quite get there. Very close opportunity. And that will be the half-time break. It's Sunderland who lead, but Leeds have been well in this game so far and are rather unfortunate not to at least be level. The first goal of the game came through Simon Adingra in the 28th minute, played in behind by Xhaka in the box, curled it to the far corner beyond Perry and gave Sunderland a lead. And Leeds could have got back in with an equaliser. There was a very close chance for Brendan Aronson in the box. It was a good link-up play between him and Calvert-Lewin, and as he went to get the shot on target, he beat the goalkeeper, Brendan Aronson, but Trey Hume on the line cleared it away to keep it at 1-0. And then there's been two big chances in added on time for Sunderland. Brian Broby with both, played in behind for the first chance, lifted it beyond the goalkeeper but didn't get enough power on it, and that was dealt with on towards the goal line by Beale. And the second chance saw a cross towards the far post by Adingra, right onto the forehead of Broby. Couldn't quite keep it down, glanced the top of the crossbar, and it stayed at 1-0. That's it at half-time. It is Sunderland 1, Leeds 0. I'm going to have a quick break for half-time. I'll be back in 15 minutes for second half live commentary, as at the moment it is Sunderland 1, Leeds United 0. Hello, we are back for the second half, and Sunderland are currently winning by 1-0 against Leeds United. Been a pretty close game so far. Both teams have showed their capabilities in terms of scoring and creating. It's probably been Leeds who are enjoying more of the ball, getting a few more shots away. Their closest chance in the 39th minute, Aronson with his shot blocked off the line by Hume. But Sunderland had two huge chances at the end of the half in added on time. Brove dropping to Brian Broby, hitting the crossbar of his second chance in the 3rd minute of added on time. Adingra's cross to the far post. Could he have probably put that in the back of the net? Maybe. Just needed to get over it a little bit more. Kind of head downwards if possible. But it's Sunderland 1, Leeds 0. Doubt there'll be any changes at half time. We've already had one change for Leeds. Joe Rodon coming off during the right after the Adingra goal. 2 times he'd rolled his ankle over after contact from 2 Sunderland tackles from Adingra and Broby. So Leeds United are back out and led out by their captain Ethan Ampadu, who's played Sunderland 3 times previously, winning 1, drawing 1 and losing 1 as well. Made his 100th appearance for Leeds in their 1-1 draw 2 weeks ago against Brentford at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Got 3 relegations on his CV. He's hoping to keep that the same at the end of this season. Relegated with Sheffield United and then twice in Italy with Venezia and Spezia. As they come Sunderland back out for the second half. And there is Simon Adingra, the goal scorer, his first goal for Sunderland. He hadn't started any of the previous 12 games before starting the last one against Brighton. His previous start and before that was away to Crystal Palace in the middle of September. But he has stepped up after the likes of Talby and Traore, 2 Sunderland wingers who have gone off to the Africa Cup of Nations over this winter period. So, we're back underway for the second half. It's Leeds kicking off, kicking right to left. Sunderland left to right. It's Perry to send a high ball forward, headed back forward by Xhaka to Broby. Loses out to Biel. It's now with Strauch. And it'll be Leeds on the ball to begin the second half. Lots of positives to take. It's a sloppy goal to concede, failing to properly clear a long throw as Strauch sends it down the left channel. High ball dealt with by Mukiele against Calvert-Lewin. Headed back forward by Goodmanson, headed away by Xhaka. Will run through for Strauch at left centre-back. And I think they're almost being slightly flexible. Mainly playing a back 4 now, Leeds, but can also play a back 5 with Ampadu. Dropping into centre-half if needed. Perry. Tanaka. Aronson, tries to flick it to Stack, but he's been dispossessed by Gertrude. It's now Adingra on the left wing. He's got Sirkin overlapping. Doesn't use him. Plays it back instead now to Xhaka. Just in front of the halfway line is Alderete, who has it on the halfway line and keeps it away from Calvert-Lewin. Just 1 win in the last 6 for Sunderland against Leeds. With all those meetings, all those previous 6 coming in the Championship. Their last win was at home here in December 2023. Strauch at left centre-back quickly moves it on away from Broby. Completes a 1-2 with Goodmanson. Flick from Okafor into the middle for Stack, who then quickly spreads it to the right-hand side here to Aronson. Brilliant football from Leeds. Aronson into the box. Puts it across for Calvert-Lewin. And there's the equaliser. Calvert-Lewin once again on the score sheet. 7 in his last 6. He is absolutely unstoppable at the moment. Started from the back. Strauch with the 1-2 with Goodmanson, and then forward to Okafor. Brilliant flick to Stack, who allowed Aronson to run into room on the right-hand side with a fantastic switch ball. Aronson running at Xhaka. He didn't get tight enough. Mukiele didn't keep close enough to Calvert-Lewin, who was able to get there first and just poke it beyond roofs. Just inside the 6-yard area. It's a poacher's goal. It's the kind of goal he's been scoring all season. Good cross from Aronson, who's probably been Leeds United's best player so far today. And Calvert-Lewin scores his 8th league goal of the season. It's 7 in his last 6. What a purple patch he's going through right now. After a disappointing end to his Everton career with injury, he's now found a new lease of life here at Leeds, and it's 1-1 right after the break. And I'd say Leeds deserved that. I think they were rather unfortunate to be 1-0 down. They've played the much better football, in my opinion. He's scored now in 6 games in a row. Calvert-Lewin. Vardy's got the record. 11 consecutive games scored him. He'll be eyeing that up. He's getting there. 6 in a row now. Scoring against Brentford, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, and then a brace against Crystal Palace last time out. Four minutes into the second half, we've already got the second goal of the game. It's gone Leeds United's way. It's now 3 goals in 2 appearances as well for Calvert-Lewin against Sunderland, previously playing against them in the League Cup third round in 2017 in a 3-0 win at Goodison Park. Okafor on the left wing. He's been a constant danger on this left-hand side for Leeds United. 1-on-1 with Hume. Onto his right foot. Gets the crossing. Flicked on. To the far post. Bogle with the touch. It's gone wide. Sunderland need to wake up. And how on earth Bogle hasn't buried that at the back post. Okafor with the cross. Good flick on by Aronson, who has been at the heart of everything Leeds have done in an attacking sense. Crossed in, glanced on, Bogle arriving. Oh, he's got to just hit it with his right foot. He almost just tries to place it with his thigh. Complete lack of natural goal scoring nous there for Bogle, who doesn't score many. Does have the 1 goal this season, but that was in the League Cup off the bench against Sheffield Wednesday. And he should have made it 2-1 to Leeds United. But now he's got defending to do. He's 1-on-1 with Adingra. Goes inside to Lefay. Keeps it away from Ampadu. Lefay in the box towards the byline. Can he get a cross in? No, he's stopped by Ampadu. Good defending by the Welshman. Bogle kicks it off Adingra. Throwing for Leeds United. In the previous 10 Premier League meetings between these two, we've never had a draw yet. 2 Sunderland wins and 8 Leeds wins. They did win 6 in a row in the Premier League against Sunderland from November 96 to March 2001. Throw-in. Headed backwards by Alderete, then forward by Mukiele. Header won by Stack, the German giant. Can't be kept by Calvert-Lewin on the halfway line. It's now Hume. Back into Robin Roofs, who was conceded for the first time since Sunderland were beaten 3-0 at Manchester City at the Etihad. A couple of weeks ago, as Ampadu takes it off Lefay in the Sunderland half. Tanaka finds the run of Aronson down the right wing. No one getting close to him for now. Towards the corner flag. He's got options all to his left. Crosses off Xhaka. Corner on the far side. It's been all Leeds United continuing their good start this second half. After they were dominating like this at the end of the first half. There's Joe Rodon on the bench after coming off in the first half with an ankle injury. Leeds are looking for their second away win of the season. Their only other one against Wolves on the 20th of September. Outswinger from Stack towards Beale, who gets the header, but it's caught arms above his head there for Roofs, and he wants to try and set Sunderland off as quickly as possible. Keeps hold of it and eventually rolls it to the right back of Trey Hume. Been closed down by Goodmanson. Down the line to Rick. Back to Hume. Time on the ball for the Northern Irish international. Scored his first goal for his country in the October international break at home to Slovakia. Playing his 150th game today for Sunderland. As Broby lays it off for Rigg, who dummied it to allow Broby to get the touch. He's now switched it to the left to Adingra. Onto his right foot, then back out on the outside. Bogle not fouling his man according to the referee. Tony Harrington saying he got the ball, and then Bogle goes long up towards Calvert-Lewin. Last touch off the Englishman, and that'll be a throw-in. Let's have a look. Adingra going onto his right foot, then quickly onto his left. Yeah, Bogle getting a touch of the ball first. Just off his right leg. Well seen by the referee. Sunderland from the throw-in, losing out through Sirkin. Wonder how much of football he'll get to play today. It's his first appearance of the season. Alderete cleans up in a left-back position. Clears it. Controlled by Bogle. Into the middle now to Ampadu. Allowed to play forward to Calvert-Lewin. Touches it back to Ampadu. Calvert-Lewin offside from the original ball. And that'll be a free kick for Sunderland. Shaking head there by Calvert-Lewin, slightly frustrated with that one. Scored just 3 goals last season in the league, Calvert-Lewin. His last against Spurs in a 3-2 win for Everton on the 19th of January. Roofs. Clipped ball high out to the left-hand side. Header won by Bogle on Adingra. Helped on by Tanaka. Free kick for Leeds. Adingra offside as the ball was played towards him. It's now Ethan Ampadu sat alongside the 2 centre-backs of Beale and Strauch. Aronson, definitely one of the better games I've seen him play in a Leeds United shirt for the American. Lifted ball towards Okafor. Header won on the edge of the box by Mukiele. Can't be cleared though by Hume. Stack takes over. Gets himself into the box. Lays it off for Goodmanson, who will try and cross. Deflects to the edge of the area to Stack. Delivers it in. Far post. Good ball. Sirkin wins the header. Tanaka back forward. Aronson controls it. Can he get the shot off? He tries to. Comes off Gertrude. And that's a corner on the far side for Leeds. They are all over Sunderland in the opening 10.5 minutes of this second half. They've already scored once to get level. They're going to look to try and get in the lead if they possibly can. It will take them up to 5th in the table, and they'd be 9 points off the relegation zone. Stack with the outswinger, aiming for Beale, tries to win the header on Xhaka, but it's the Swiss to win it, and then volleyed by Adingra, headed back forward by Aronson down the right hand side, controlled by Stack, played back through for Aronson, turns away from Lefay, but then runs into Xhaka. It's now with Gertrude. Sunderland want to break. The Dutchman with a lifted ball up towards Broby, header away by Goodmanson. Can it be kept alive by Rigg? He's been shoved to the ground by Okafor. And that'll be a free kick for Sunderland on the halfway line. Still no shots from Sunderland in the second half. 4 from Leeds United with the 2 on target. Lost just 3 games last season away from home. Leeds losing to Portsmouth in March, and then Blackburn in Millwall in the November. Stack wins it in a crowded midfield for Leeds. Goes to Bogle. Still in the Leeds United half as it stands. Ampadu. No pressure from any Sunderland player. Keeps it moving to Stack. Looks to have been a really solid signing from Hoffenheim. £17 million for Anton Stack. 3 goals in the league, 2 in his last 3. That free kick against Crystal Palace and also scoring against Liverpool in that 3-3 draw. As Bogle's the one attacking, gets it into the box for Aronson. Last touch off Gertrude. And that'll be another corner on the far side for Leeds. Aronson with the blue headband in to match the Leeds United away kit this afternoon. It is all Leeds United so far. Another outswinger. Header won by Alderete that time. Falls to Bogle. Midway inside the Sunderland half. To the left it goes to Okafor. Left-footed delivery towards Strauch. Another header won by Alderete. It's now a Dingra. Surrounded by blue shirts. Deflects towards Xhaka. Loses out to Stack. Brilliant sliding challenge. Aronson pulls it across. Tanaka! Oh, he's gone wide. And high. And Leeds United will not want to think back on these opportunities come the end of the game if they don't walk with all 3 points. Aronson probably could have done a bit of a better cut back. It was a bit too much speed on it for Tanaka. He's had to kind of rush to get there and just about reached it with his left boot. But with just over half an hour to go, it's still Sunderland 1, Leeds 1. Short ball by Rigg, and Ampadu takes it away down the left, being chased down by Xhaka. Ampadu towards the byline, pulls it across, comes off Xhaka. Another corner, this time on the near side. Ampadu try to get those Leeds fans going up in the gods in that stand to the left-hand side. It's been complete domination. Don't know what Daniel Farke has done, but this month of December has been absolutely fantastic from Leeds. Completely turning their season around where they look like a competent Premier League side who could definitely find themselves in the league next season. They've gone short. Sunderland have gone asleep. Okafor to the edge of the area. Aronson gets under it. Flies over the crossbar. Remains 1-1. It's probably what his performance deserves. Aronson, a goal with it. He's already got the assist for the equaliser. He's got the 1 goal this season in their 2-1 home win to West Ham towards the end of October. Got another 2 years, well, another year and a half on his contract. Aronson. Hume dispossessed by Stack on halfway, and Okafor takes over and then pulled back by Hume, and that'll be the easiest yellow card the referee will give out all day. Had to do it because Calvert-Lewin was away. If Okafor could have released it. Fourth booking of the season for Trey Hume. Came off the bench in their last home game against Newcastle and off the bench in November in their comeback win against Bournemouth. Other than that, he had started the other 15 league games this season. Stack towards the far post, headed across by Beale, headed forward by Ampadu, headed away by Hume, controlled from the left boot of Goodmanson, then played out to the right here to Beale. He will keep it in. Plays it to Goodmanson. And then back to Aronson on the halfway line with Bogle. Out to the right to Aronson once more. Keeping the ball away from Gertrude. And they just slow the game down as Leeds United get players back in position. Strauch on the edge of the box. To Tanaka, who's drifted out to this wide area. Now with Perry, the goalkeeper. Looks like he's going to be going long here. Up towards Calvert-Lewin. He went up for it, too high. Straight through to Robin Roofs. the Sunderland goalkeeper, who only actually became first choice goalkeeper at his previous club last season. Kept 10 clean sheets and finished 8th. Well, this is just his second season in professional football as a first choice goalkeeper, and he has made quite the impact at Sunderland, a very solid pair of hands. Hume down the right hand side towards Broby, who's on the floor. Referee, nothing to do with it. Tanaka gets it forward to Calvert-Lewin, who's offside. Tanaka didn't mean to play it to Calvert-Lewin. It deflected off him into the striker, who was just offside. Gertrude as Sunderland try and get some control back in this game. It's Alderete on the halfway line. Up in towards Lefay. Can't chest it into Sirkin. Picked up by Aronson. Forward to Tanaka and back to Beale. Very impressed with this Leeds United performance. Just one win for Farke in 6 against Sunderland in his career. His previous Premier League record is pretty poor for Daniel Farke. Just 6 wins in 49 Premier League games as Norwich boss. That has improved slightly. But in 66 Premier League games as a manager, Daniel Farke has conceded 132 goals. 31 of them coming this season with his Leeds United side. Ampadu forward just in front of the centre circle to Aronson. Loads of time on the ball for the American. Bogle made a run in behind. Thought about it. Aronson apologises as he plays it back instead. And it's now with Tanaka. Bogle. Everyone behind the ball for Sunderland. It's with Jaka Beale. Spent 3 years with Udinese in Italy, Beale, before he switched to England. As they've worked it from back to front. Tanaka with a cross. Cleared by Mukiele away from Calvert-Lewin. Header won by Bogle. Aronson towards the right side. Couldn't get through the 2 Sunderland shirts, and now the break's on with Lefay. Xhaka is making a run in front of him. Plays it to Xhaka. Tries to go back out wide. Xhaka asking for a handball. Referee says no. It's now Leeds in the Sunderland half with Anton Stack. So much time on the ball for every Leeds player who gets it. It's Okafor running at Hume in the final third. Edge of the box, on his right foot. Tries the shot. He's off balance. I think he hits his own man, Calvert-Lewin. Deflects to the right to Bogle. Somehow still kept alive for Leeds. Stack lifts it to the right to Aronson. Controls it well. Goes to his left to Bogle. Back into Ampadu. Wide to Aronson. Feel like it's a matter of time until Leeds get the goal to go ahead in this game. Ampadu will cross it towards Calvert-Lewin. Headed won by Alderete. Headed back in there by Bogle to Aronson. Try to work a bit of room in the area. Cleared up in the air by Gertrude. Ampadu with the chest. Back in towards Okafor. Bouncing around. Header won by Rigg. Shot by Stack. Hits his own man. It's a mess in there. Stack can head it out wide left to Goodmanson. Try to get around Rigg. And he does. In the box. Squares it. It goes beyond Aronson. Ampadu with the shot. Well headed away by Sirkin. Headed back in there by Beale. Tanaka. Volleyed up by Alderete. This is an absolute mess at the back for Sunderland. Lefay loses out to Aronson. Ampadu crosses back post. Caught by Roofs. Quarter of the game to go, and it is all Leeds United. Goodmanson using his strength and pace to get around Rigg. Just missed Okafor and Aronson. And Ampadu looking for back-to-back goals in the Premier League. Had his shot blocked by the header Sirkin. Good ball forward now by Mukiele. Rigg allowed to turn and play it to Trey Hume. Into the Leeds half he goes. Into the middle to Xhaka. Touches it away from Strauch. Xhaka with limited options. Goes into the middle to Gertrude. He's got Adingra to the left. He'll play it to Sirkin first. Now to Adingra. Running at Bogle, goes on the outside, crosses far post, and it's put behind for a corner. Or is it a free kick? I think it's a free kick for Leeds United. Bit of contact in the back of Goodmanson by Trey Hume. Just have a little bit overhit that cross from Adingra. And yeah, pushing the back there by Trey Hume. 2 hands in there. Free kick given. But we are going to get a double change for Sunderland. It's a needed double change as well, with a quarter of the game to go. So it's going to be a like-for-like change up front. Brian Broby replaced by Wilson Isidore, who's featured in every game so far this season for Sunderland. In the second change, we'll see their youngster Chris Rigg come off for Eliza Mayenda. Just his 9th appearance this season for the Spaniard, who signed a new 5-year deal in August. Scored Sunderland's first goal back in the Premier League, Eliza Mayenda, in that win at home to West Ham United in game week 1. So, free kick taken by Lucas Perry. Up into the Sunderland half, flicked on by Stack, and once more by Okafor. Dealt with by Alderete. Controlled by Lefay. Tackled by Ampadu. Okafor takes it out wide to the left once more. Tries to go on the outside of Hume, who needs to be careful because he's on a booking. Mukiele with the last touch. Corner for Leeds on the near side. Mukiele arguing his case that should have been a goal kick. Okafor. Persistent personality on that left-hand side with his skills and his quick pace, and it's causing Trey Hume issues. In-swinger from Stack. Far post. It's a header by Ampadu. And over the bar it goes. It remains 1-1 here at Stadium of Light. Sunderland are holding on in this game. The first ever meeting between these two was at Leeds back in August 1925, 124 years ago. Sorry, not 124 years ago, 100 years ago. It was a 1-1 draw, 30th of August 1925, so yeah, just over 100 years ago the first meeting, and it was 1-1 that game. The first game at Stadium of Light was Sunderland 1, Leeds 2 in January 2000. Looks like we could get that same result again, potentially. Lefay, deflected ball over the top for Isidore, touches it in front of him, gets away from Beale, angles tight, tries to get it across, and it lacks pace, and it's an easy ball to deal with for Perry. Positive start for the substitute though, Wilson Isidore, who's got real competition for that starting spot up front with Broby. As Okafor needs to release it, comes off Gertrude but straight through to Tanaka, tries to go over the top for Calvert-Lewin, too much on it. Goes through for Robin Roofs. Less than 20 to go here at the Stadium of Light. And it's Sunderland 1, Leeds 1. I think Sunderland give it away there. Kicking the ball straight out of play. Goodmanson throwing it back to the halfway line to Strauch. Looks like Leeds are going to make a change. Lucas Nemecha will be coming on. Man they brought in on a free from Wolfsburg in the summer. Goodmanson lifted ball down the left-hand side. Goalkeeper stays away from it. Calvert-Lewin will get there. Flag stays down. Calvert-Lewin in the left wing position. Thinking about the cross. Goes to the edge of the box to Stack. And eventually the flag goes up in the end. Would have been tight. And here comes the change. And an interesting change because it's been one of the more dangerous outlets for Leeds. Noah Okafor will be coming off for Lucas Nemecha. Played twice previously in the Premier League before joining Leeds back in 2018 for Manchester City. Spent 14 years with the blue side of Manchester, leaving in 2021 after making 3 senior appearances. Ball lifted forward down the left. Another header won by Bogle. Headed back forward by Sirkin. Header by Bogle once more. Ampadu plays it to Calvert-Lewin, who's drifted to the right himself and then dinks it over the top for Nemecha, who almost got there on the edge of the box. Very close. Went through to the goalkeeper instead, who's getting the countdown to release the ball out of his hands. Slight bit of contact from Trey Hume, but nothing to cause any free kick or penalty shouts. Lefay. Mayenda. Lefay forward to Isidore, cut out by Biol. It's now with Ampadu, plenty of options forward. Tries to look for Aronson, it's just in front of him. Ever so close. Sunderland have done absolutely nothing, really, in this second half. We've had that cross from Adingra at the far post, which forced Trey Hume to actually foul the defender of Goodmanson. Not really got much else to look at in terms of the bench, Sunderland. The only other real senior play they've got in terms of goal scoring ability was probably Romain Mundle, who's returned from a hamstring injury in November. He's made 4 appearances off the bench already for Sunderland this season. Strauch. Flicked on by Nemecha. That would have been special if that had gone through to Calvert-Lewin. Dealt with by Mukiele. Given away on the halfway line by Lefay. Now Ampadu just looks so settled and so confident on the ball here. The travelling side. 4-hour round trip for Leeds United on this Sunday afternoon in the back end of December. Still in their own half with Ampadu, the captain. Biol in the centre circle. No pressure on the Slovenian. Goes 10 yards to his left to Strauch. Furthest wide is Goodmanson. Into Nemecha, who's drifted out wide to help his teammate. Ampadu deflects over to the... Oh, Aronson in the box. Not dealt with by Hume for now. Xhaka, poor clearance. Ampadu hits it. Straight down the middle. Stung the gloves of Roofs. Anything either side, that could have caused a few more issues for the goalkeeper. So disjointed, Sunderland. I know they've lost a lot of first-team players to AFCON, but this is a worrying performance, and they are just about holding on for the point as it stands. We'll take them on to 28 points for the season. 15 to go. With Nordi Mukiele. Forward to Lefay, touches it to Mayenda, skips beyond Strauch. He's got Hume to his right. Mayenda might go on his own, onto his left foot. Blocked by Strauch as he recovers. Had to get in the way as well. Almost a huge opportunity for Sunderland, who have offered very little in this second half. Tanaka, high ball up there. Can't find Nemecha or Calvert-Lewin. It's now forward by Hume to Lefay. Sees Isidore in space. It's almost threaded through to him, but Biol was there to stop the ball going through. It's now Stack. Back to Goodmanson. It's now Ampadu. No pressure on him. Still with Ampadu on the halfway line. Forward to Tanaka. Back to Ampadu. Under pressure now. And fouled by Isidore. Not sure. Regis Lebris in conversation with the 4th official, Simon Hooper. Light smile from the 4th official. Strauch. Across to Biol. It's now Bogle, who had a big chance at 1-1 just after Leeds had got the equaliser to make it 2-1 at the far post from a cross into the box after a flick on from Aronson. Ampadu lifting it out to the left just behind Calvert-Lewin. And that'll be a throw in for Sunderland midway inside their own half. Taken quickly and thrown back to Roofs, the goalkeeper, and they'll start from the very back. Hume. Back towards Mukiele, not exactly straight to him, so Stack will put a little bit of pressure on. He'll get it across to Roofs, 12 minutes to go, still 1-1 here at the Stadium of Light. Alderete forward to Adingra, lays it off for Sirkin, who's still playing and still on the pitch and still battling, still running. Just runs out of steam there as he was dispossessed by Bogle. Yeah, first appearance of the season. First minutes of the season for Sirkin, the left back. Former England under-20 international. Bogle tried to go in behind for Calvert-Lewin, but he was trying to get himself back on side. There's no Omar Alderete. Spent 3 years at Getafe before joining Sunderland, making 99 appearances for the Spanish side. Turned 29 on Boxing Day. Alderete. Mukiele. Laying it off to his right to Lefay. It's now with Alderete. We'll clip it forward towards Isidore. Header won by Strauch. Second header won by Stack. Third header won by Mukiele into the path of Hume, who was brought down from behind by Stack. And it's a foul given. Stack's not sure. He doesn't think that's a foul. Hume just taking too long. Stack coming from behind. Yeah, didn't get the ball. Free kick. Opportunity for a struggling Sunderland side in this game. It's on this near side, so it's going to be an outswinger from Lefay or an inswinger from Xhaka. Last few words being exchanged between Lefay and Xhaka. Two-man wall for Leeds of Aronson and Tanaka. Xhaka runs over it. Lefay will deliver it. Away from Mayenda and deflects towards goal off a Leeds man. But it's slow-paced and an easy save for Perrett, who wants to go for a throw. And he'll throw it to the left to Goodmanson. Wanted to go forward, but the opportunity's passed. And he'll start again. It's now Ampadu lifting it to Beale, testing his touch there in his own half. Keeps it moving back through to Ampadu. 9.5 minutes of the 90 to go. Strauch over the top, down the left channel. Nemecha tries to help it on. Mukiele deals with it for now. And clears it himself. Big kick forward up towards Isidore. Header won by Ampadu. Isidore offside as the ball was played. And Leeds want to get back underway. So now with Yakabiel. Left his home country of Slovenia to play in his first country away, and that was Russia in July 2018. Then played in Italy as well, most recently for Udinese, finished 12th last season. Calvert-Lewin shoved in the back in the box. Referee unmoved. Calvert-Lewin just looking at the ref with a little shake of the head. The ball was put over the top, missed human Nemecha. And Alderete just enough, I think, of the shoulder to kind of justify the referee's call there. Close though. Just about shoulder to shoulder. Close call though. Roofs to his right centre back of Mukiele. Now back to Roofs. Alderete, 8 to play. Down the left-hand side, it's a poor ball, lack of direction. Picked up by Bogle, whose touch is heavy. And too heavy, out of play for a throw-in. Midway inside the Sunderland Leeds half for Sunderland. Xhaka. Back into Sirkin. Alderete finds Mukiele on halfway. Lefay's free to his right. Decides to go in front of him to Mayenda instead. Wants to try and get away from Strauch, but he's been doubled up on there and Goodmanson tackles and clears. Down the Leeds left. Touched by Mukiele. Tackled by Stack. Back to Nemecha. Then tried to get it forward to Calvert-Lewin, but there was too much on it. Looks like Willie Nonso will be introduced shortly. Just the Leeds dominance just slightly worn off now in the last 5 or 10 minutes, but Sunderland haven't exactly created a handful of chances themselves. Mayenda's been a positive substitute, and he's linking the play up now with Gertrude. Out wide left to Adingra. Into the final third. Sirkin's made a run in the box. Adingra doesn't use it. Adingra on the outside tries to cut back off Bogle. And that is a corner for Sunderland on the far side, trying to get the crowd up for the final 6.5 minutes or so of this game. Sunderland next host Manchester City on New Year's Day. And then they travel to Spurs and Brentford back-to-back. For Leeds, they travel to Anfield on New Year's Day, then host Manchester United, and then travel to Newcastle. Some tricky fixtures coming up for both sides. In swing at near post. Alderete with the header. And over the bar it goes. Scored the 1 goal so far this season, Alderete, in their 1-0 away win at Forest at the back end of September. 6th start in a row now for the Paraguayan, as we're going to get a change each. The goal scorer, his first goal for Sunderland, Simon Adingra, will be replaced by Romain Mundle. Player they brought in almost 2 years ago now from Standard Liège. Romain Mundle, his brother Rio is at Norwich's under 18s. And the Leeds change will see Willie Nonso come on. And Willie Nonso will replace the man in form at the moment, Calvert-Lewin. Probably going to use Nemecha as that target man and get Nonso and Aronson running off him. It is 7 in 6 for Calvert-Lewin, scoring in 6 consecutive games, finding his form after joining on a free in the summer. Foul by Nemecha on Xhaka as they were both going for the header. He takes his place on the bench there. Calvert-Lewin sat alongside Jack Harrison and Ilya Gruev, and he's keeping up. These 8 Premier League goals have pretty much all been in line with the penalty spot. His one today, probably just slightly to the right, but only ever so slightly. His positioning to be that fox in the box is one of the best in the Premier League, it must be said. As Sunderland give it away and it drops to Nemecha on the right-hand side. He needs to find the next pass if he can. Being stopped by Mundle, but he can play it forward to Tanaka. He's then tackled, but I think the play's gone back for a free kick for the foul there on Lucas Nemecha. Foul there by Gertrude on Nemecha. Not long ago he scored 3 in a row for Leeds. Nemecha against City, Aston Villa and Forest all in November. As from the free kick, they're going to deliver it into the area, straight to the first man, which is Lefay, who heads it forward to Mundle. Touches it around Stack, but the touch is too heavy, dealt with at the back by Bogle. It's now with Perry. To his left now to Nonso. Back to Perry. Then clears it first time. It's a huge kick up towards Nemecha. Off the knee of Alderete. Headed back forward by Stack. Another header won by Alderete. Touched down by Lefay. It's now with Xhaka. Returns it to the right back Hume, who just gets rid. Lifting it to Mayenda. Lefay. Back into Mukiele. Well kept there by Sunderland. 3 to go. Gertrude giving it in an awkward position, but he works it away from Tanaka and Ampadu and feeds Lefay. Back into Gertrude, just inside the Leeds half. It's across now with the captain, Xhaka. Mukiele, just in front of the centre circle for Sunderland. Forward for Hume. It'd be their 4th draw at home. Sunderland would mean 9 games at home without a defeat. Mukiele to Lefay on the right wing position. Goes inside to Xhaka. Then back to Mukiele. Then into Xhaka once more. He's allowed to turn and tries to play a pass forward, but he overhits that massively. And out for a goal kick. Very unlike Granit Xhaka. Of course, won the double 2 seasons ago with Leverkusen. Winning the Bundesliga and the Cup. Going 51 games unbeaten for 361 days. Regis Lebris just trying to spur his team on for one last push. Based on stats, it's been Leeds who probably deserve the winner, even though they have gone cold the last 10 or 15 minutes. Gudmundsson tries to play it forward, cleared by Alderete. It's now Lefay on the right. Spins away from Gudmundsson, but the pass is poor. Picked up by Ampadu, but Nonto's short ball to Stack means Sunderland have it back. Clipping it high towards Mayenda, over his head towards Isidore. Brave defending by Biol. There'll be a throw-in on the halfway line for Sunderland on this near side where the technical areas are. Alderete. Less than a minute of the 90 to go. Can't imagine we'll get too much added on time. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Xhaka in the centre circle. Out to the right to Lefay. Into the box to Mayenda. He's got his back to goal towards the byline. Plays it to his left to Hume, who crosses. The cross is poor. Easy header for Ampadu. Throwing for Sunderland in the final third. Mukiele. He's going to throw it long. As we're about to hit the 90th minute. Towards the near post. No Sunderland shirt near it. Headed straight back though to Mukiele, who goes low to the edge of the box to Lefay. Lays it off for Xhaka. Into Lefay once more. Can he get some free space in the box? No, he can't. Defended really well by Gudmundsson, who can clear it. Just a 3 added on. 2.5 left to play. Will we get the first ever Premier League draw between these two sides? Xhaka on the halfway line. Need to try and get it forward if they can. Hume. To the right to Mukiele. Now with Xhaka, just trying to lure Leeds out of their press. Goes long, headed won by Gudmundsson. Nonto loses out to Mukiele, who's in the right wing position now. Tries the cross. Comes off Gudmundsson. Throw in for Sunderland. It looks like they might go long again. Throwing taken quickly to Xhaka. Back down the line for Lefay, who can cross. Comes off the head of Gudmundsson. Second header by Aronson. Controlled by Nemecha, but it's a loose poor touch. And it's back by Xhaka to Hume. They've got about 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go. Hume with the switch towards the right side. Brought down by Lefay to Xhaka. Gertrude in the middle. Back into Xhaka. They're running out of time here. Xhaka to Sirkin. Back into Hume. Very patient here from Sunderland, who clip it in towards the box, towards Alderete. Header won by Strauch, controlled by Tanaka. Flag up for offside. Minute to go. It's been a bit of a dull last 15-20 minutes. Based off that chunk of play, a draw is probably a fair result. But Leeds, overall, have been the much better side and will probably be frustrated they've not got more than a draw. It's only their third game of the season where they're taking points from an away game in the Premier League, winning against Wolves in September and drawing 2 weeks ago at Brentford. Big kick from Perry with 30 seconds to go. Up towards Nemecha, header won by Mukiele. Hume wins another header. Xhaka helps it on, but there's a high foot by Stack. And that'll be a free kick. Xhaka wants to get the ball playing quick. Just needs to go long. Goes short to his left, Alderete. Will they have time? Just needs to send it. Alderete will do that. Into the box towards Mayenda. Header won by Strauch. Volleyed poorly by Nonto. Straight up in the air. Bounces. Gertrude battling with Ampadu. It will drop to Nonto, who will this time get it away properly. And the referee will blow for the full-time whistle. Regis Lebris and Daniel Farker shake hands as it's a stalemate between two of the promoted teams who are doing a lot better than previous promoted teams in previous seasons. Sunderland, with that point, takes themselves and keeps themselves in 7th. A win would have took them 5th, but they still remain and they are flirting around those European spots. For Leeds United, they stay out of the relegation zone. They are now 7 points above West Ham, who are in 18th. But that game definitely could have gone Leeds' way. It was a first-half goal from Simon Adingra in the 28th minute, his first for the club, an assist from Granit Xhaka playing it in behind Bogle and bending it to the far corner. They could have had a second before the break, but before that, Aronson had a shot cleared off the line in the 39th minute, and then 2 chances in added-on time for Broby. One was a poorly taken one-on-one against the goalkeeper, and the other was a header that came off the crossbar. But 2 minutes into the second half, Calvert-Lewin gave Leeds the goal they deserved. A brilliant piece of play, right from back to front, and the final pass from Aronson was a cross, putting it on a plate for Calvert-Lewin, who poked it beyond Roofs from around 6 yards out and gave Leeds their equaliser. And if anyone was going to score, it looked like it was going to be Leeds. They've dominated the shots, they've dominated the possession, but just couldn't quite find themselves that chance to take all 3 points. I think both teams will probably take the draw. It could have been a lot more for both, but here at the Stadium of Light, it finishes Sunderland 1, Leeds United 1. I hope you did all enjoy. Make sure you like and subscribe before you go. But here, in this festive fixture at the Stadium of Light, Sunderland got in the lead, but it was then all Leeds United onwards. They could have had a winner. They didn't get the winner. As here at the end, it finishes all square. It finishes Sunderland 1, Leeds United 1.